The world getting smaller. The emergence of digitalization has changed the mankind. Nowadays, it is easier for us to connect ourselves with the global with just one click. The evolution of communication technologies allow us to connect with people, getting news around the world, and even buying our groceries without any boundaries. Application on the smartphone grows like a mushroom grows after the rain, as we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, news portal like the New Straits Times, The Star, The Guardian, The Economist, and even religious stuff like Muslim Pro. But have you ever wondered about your personal data? As we register ourselves in this application, it includes with our personal data like our names, age, address, and even if you are agree with the terms and conditions, the application have right to access your smartphone by looking at the contact, your photo, and even look at your movement. The world is getting smaller. With no boundaries in internet, our privacy and personal data is in jeopardy. In March 2018, Facebook has been accused and charged by United States Federal Trade Commission as they revealed 87 million users' personal data and sold to Cambridge Analytica, which is an analytic firm. This year, in November 2020, Muslim Pro, an apps that provide prayer times and religious content, has been accused selling users' personal data such as a movement data to United States military. Our personal data today is in danger as irresponsible company taking advantage on our personal data for their own benefits.
Implications for organizations suffering from data breaches are serious and rising. This is partly attributed to the increased administrative pressure on reporting of persons whose data have been breached. The standards for notice and penalties for organizations experiencing a loss of data vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. Industries who suffer a violation of data affecting consumers must decide where their customers live and which regulatory body is qualified to do so. Regulations describe the form of data on which notification is necessary after the violation and define who must be informed, how the notification must be carried out, whether relevant agencies must be notified. Generally, breaches affecting personal, financial, and health data are subject to reporting provisions, but exact definitions differ from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. Companies working abroad may have clients in multiple countries and may have to comply with number of regulations. The cost of such a process, along with civil fines, potential compensation for damages, and any subsequent litigation could be large enough to pose an existential danger to some businesses. Breaches of data affecting other forms of data may have a significant effect on the credibility and business situation of an organization. In addition to the contractual commitments that could have an effect, the expected acquisition of a business may be brought into doubt by a breach of records, as happened recently with the acquisition of Yahoo by Verizon. If your rivals become familiar with your marketing tactics and are willing to sell goods that are close to yours at a cheaper price, your business will not succeed. Many factors contribute to data breaches. It could be from a compromised laptop or server, or someone extracting information due to lack of data protection procedures in an organization. This could involve a USB download, email data export, or sophisticated malware designed for data theft and exfiltration. In particular, before this, Malaysians are mysteriously losing their money. Banks say it is transferred to strangers. Some of the victims' accounts were hacked. A few people have recently come forward saying that the money in their bank account has mysteriously disappeared, even though they did not perform any transactions. This was followed by another report on how the personal details of around 220,000 Malaysian organ donors and their next of kin had been leaked online. The incidents of massive personal data breaches in Malaysia have shown the spotlight on data security in which country, which experts say likely stem from the use of poor cyber security tools that do not offer sufficient protection against increasingly sophisticated threats. On 15 November 2013, the Personal Data Protection Act 2010 PDPA came into force in Malaysia with the objective of protecting the personal data of individuals with respect to commercial transactions. The main responsibility of this department is to oversee the processing of personal data of individuals involved in commercial transactions by user data that is not misused and misapplied by the parties concerned. Users need to be protected to prevent any form of abuse against the storage or processing of personal data of individuals, public and private sectors in Malaysia for commercial transactions is stipulated under the PDPA. The penalty for non-compliance is between 100k ringgit Malaysia to 500k and or between 1 to 3 years imprisonment. Which data breaches happening on a frequent basis, people have become accustomed to them. This is not a positive thing because data security has never been more important. Businesses are not only expected to disclose that data breach has happened, but they are also obligated to pay fines in compliance with general data protection regulation.
The sheer frustration that data theft puts on individuals, societies, corporations, and nations is a serious matter and should be taken care of once and for all. However, it is no walk in the park due to the vast and rapid technological advancements in which cybercriminals can take advantage of very easily. So, how should we address this lingering problem? Efforts to end personal data theft should begin from the very top. The government must take extra steps to monitor or identify software utilized by citizens that are mainstream or non-mainstream, which may have the potential to steal data. Once identified, it is then necessary to take action by restricting access to these software or banning them altogether. By blocking the services of these potentially harmful software, highly confidential information of corporations and individuals would not fall into the wrong hands. For example, the online video conferencing software Zoom has been banned by a lot of companies due to multiple reports of hackers spying on their meetings. The next method which the government can implement is to provide community awareness regarding data safety for the society. Awareness can be made in the form of advertisements which appeal to the attention of both the younger and also older generations. These can be broadcasted on television or posted onto social media.
Data Pribadi 2010 iaitu Akta 709, anda boleh memutuskan dengan siapa data pribadi anda boleh dikongsi dan dizahirkan.
The advertisements aim to educate society on what they can do to prevent their data from breaching. Giving them exposure would remind them to be cautious when using phones or computers anywhere and at any time. In addition, younger family members who know their way around technology can guide their elders to prevent them from being victims of data theft. Finally, the most crucial effort needs to come from individuals themselves. It is time to adopt a new mindset if they haven't already. And that mindset is that it is okay to be paranoid, thinking that our data might breach from using any software, even those which may appear harmless at first glance. Because there is no use crying over spilt milk if people themselves would not take the initiative to keep their data away from harm's reach once the damage has been done. Individuals should be extra careful when installing or using mobile applications, registering on websites, checking their emails, or even going on online chat rooms, because sometimes these unfamiliar websites or applications which require the access to our files on our computers or phones have the potential to steal data. Therefore, we would want to avoid visiting them. These solutions may not guarantee the safety of our data 100%, as cybercriminals will always find a loophole somewhere into the security systems. However, it is definitely better than not putting in any effort at all to tackle this ongoing problem. As the saying goes, better safe than sorry.